where I think the future's going over the next 5 years, that collectively the alternative fuel vehicles will continue to grow, but I think we'll see electric vehicles really starting to push on as a percentage of the network. That's where all of the investment from manufacturers is going. That's what's going to help them achieve their CO2 targets from an EU point of view, and that's probably the best alternative from a customer's point of view. If you want to drive an alternative fuel vehicle and contribute to climate change, then electric vehicle is the one. Hybrids, they sit somewhere between what we've got today and electric. They play their place. They are helping CO2 reduce, but really that's from a manufacturer's point of view. The real technology switch is going to be to electric as we move through the next number of years.
Just looking at plug-in hybrid electric and battery electric cars, which of the two will prove more popular over, say, the next 5 years?
I think the next 5 years, the electric vehicle will really come into its own. The plug-in hybrid is there for a purpose today, which is it gets the CO2 emissions down from a manufacturer's point of view, helps them to achieve their targets. Pure electric, is pure zero emission, and that's where everybody wants to drive towards. So I think as the price and the availability and the proliferation of models comes through, electric will start to accelerate past the hybrid that we see today.
What will be needed to drive a major increase in pure battery electric vehicles?
Probably three things. The first thing is the price. So if you look at the product on the market today, it's generally premium brands and it's premium price, so it's sort of early adopter phase. For electric to be a proposition that works, it's probably got the mass market price point is low 20,000s. And there's a lot of product coming in that range. And then when you take that with a whole life cost of running the vehicle, because your running costs will be significantly lower than petrol and diesel, you're probably looking at 30% reduction in your running costs just purely for the electric charging, maybe more. So that's really going to be the key point, because that brings it to mass markets, and then you get a greater adoption. The second thing would be range, and largely manufacturers have addressed the range in the product that's coming to market. Once the range is around the 300-mile mark, that pretty much removes most of the sort of mid to long distance commutes or the mid to long distance journeys to and from a destination. And electric is already, with the ranges that are there, suitable for the sort of short term, the short hops around town and most people's daily requirements. So range largely being addressed, price is moving to that direction. And the third then is the infrastructure for charging. We have a decent infrastructure in Northern Ireland through the eCar consortium. It's an all-island proposition. Maybe some more challenges in the broader UK sense, where things are generally divvied up more regionally. The growth of the home network, there's grants available for people who are buying electric vehicles to get the charge points fitted at home. And then people can really sort of, let the car fit into their daily routine. You may leave home with a full charge, you may be plugging in at work, so you have no issues of battery depletion. And then so long as the infrastructure is built out and is working on a sort of a public infrastructure point of view, that pretty much takes care of any charging needs that you would have when you're on the longer journey, and you may just need to give the battery a bit of a boost. And the fast chargers can charge a battery now in 20 minutes. So, but obviously, as the number of cars grow, the infrastructure needs to expand to be able to cope with the demand that will be placed on the public infrastructure. So that's probably the big thing from a government point of view.
Will all cars in the future, now looking some way into that future, be powered solely by electricity?
I think the future will probably be a balance between electric and hydrogen over time. That would be my personal opinion, just reading up on and being aware of some of the investments the manufacturers are making. Both are zero emissions, so it ticks all the right boxes from an environmental point of view. And I think it would be hydrogen and electric. They fit into your life differently as a consumer. So I think there's a place for both in the marketplace, and I think that would give the consumers the right level of sort of cover, which means they would not need to rely on the old traditional hybrid as it will become, or the even older tradition of petrol and diesel. But the car park in the UK is 20 odd million, 26 million cars or thereabouts. So it's going to be a long time before diesel and petrol disappear from the roads.